Minecraft servers, pay-to-win, and gambling are all synonymous with one another. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Recently, Sunday's Minecraft server Buckley removed gambling after a series of dupes from myself and others, and that got me thinking. Over the now roughly 5 years that people have been making duping and anti-pay-to-win Minecraft videos, myself included, how many servers have actually made a change? How many servers has duping actually been successful on? And have any servers actually removed predatory monetization, such as crates, and kept them removed? Well, today, with the help of the Duper Trooper, we'll be doing a deep dive to find out. Way back in 2020, when duping videos and duping in general was not nearly as common, Duper Trooper would upload his first anti-pay-to-win video alongside The Horizon and another smaller YouTuber known as Garden of Eden. The server they targeted was called KingsCraft, which, while I can't find an archive of their store, had ranks that supposedly gave you a bunch of OP gear and money, as well as other advantageous perks. They also sold money and MCMMO points directly, as well as containing a variety of pay-to-win crate keys. KingsCraft was a smaller but still very active server, averaging about 50 to 100 players at the time. Duper would make a total of 5 videos over the span of about 6 months, using exploits on the server, including an exploit that allowed him to get barrier blocks and thus place and distribute illegal unbreakable blocks around the world, a crash exploit where he crashed the server 3 times, a dupe exploit where he duped shulkers of keys, banknotes, and other valuables worth over 1 billion coins, another crash exploit where he crashed the server 14 times, and then finally a force op exploit, which allowed him to do some serious damage to the server's creative plot game mode. It should also be noted that throughout this entire ordeal, the KingsCraft owner and staff had been actively beefing with Duper, had given rewards to players on their server who disliked and reported his channel, amongst having arguments with and harassing him on Discord. Anyways, it seemed the force op was the final straw, as after this, the server removed all pay-to-win monetization, including money, MCMMO credits, and various advantageous rank perks. But now, almost 5 years later, is the server still non-pay-to-win? Did they keep their changes? Well, from a brief look at the server's store, it seems you still cannot buy money or MCMMO levels, and the ranks still seem to be basically non-pay-to-win, with only a handful of small quality of life perks that can be considered a minor advantage left. However, the server still does sell crate keys, which are significantly worse and more harmful than pay-to-win rank perks. Logging onto the server, which is not as active these days, averaging about 20 to 40 players, and you'll see that in the years since Duper's videos, the server has in fact been selling a lot of crate keys. They even have an entire warp where you can find their old crates, which they seemingly rotate out every season or few months. I counted about 33 different crates in total, most of which are or were purchasable with real money at one point. And yes, these crates contain a variety of pay-to-win goods. So ultimately, while Duper may have initially prevailed, it seems that long term, the server was not kept in check and things didn't remain the same. NauticMC is a Spanish cracked server you probably never heard of, but it gets almost 1,500 players online every day. It's very popular. Now, the server is primarily an SMP server and features a variety of survival game modes, as well as some other game modes like box PvP, but survival is what's most popular. Now, going to the server store, and you can pretty much instantly see that they sell a lot of stuff. They sell a premium coin currency with outstanding prices. They have an exclusive monthly rank, which gives you a variety of perks, items, and goods. There's a bunch of normal ranks with various goods too. Then in each game mode, they sell land claim expansions, kits, spawners, in-game money, commands, and a variety of other useful items. In fact, you can even buy something I've never seen sold on any other server before, and that is an entire damn base for $25 US. That's right, if you don't want to build a base, you can buy one instead. Come on, NauticMC, if you're going to make me pay $25 for a base, at least don't make it look like a bad early 2000s haircut. Anyways, they sell a lot of stuff. You can even buy Discord unbans and unmutes. Now, interestingly, if we go to archives of their server store from mid last year, you'll see something that's not on the store currently: crates and keys. So where are these crates now? Well, a few months ago, Duper Trooper, in a video he is planning to upload soon, utilized an exploit in the server's trade plugin trade system that allowed them to bring in NBT saved items from single player creative mode to the server. Using this exploit, Duper was able to bring in shulker boxes of illegal items, which he distributed. After this, Duping got in contact with the server staff and offered to tell them how to do the exploit if they removed crates and gambling from the server, to which they agreed. Now, if you go to their survival game modes and go to the area where the crates used to be, they are no longer there. A message saying available very soon is in their place, likely a placeholder. So it seems this server actually complied with Duping and removed crates due to him. However, what the staff of the server didn't know was that the exploit Duping used had already been patched 2 months prior, and all the server had to do was update their trade plugin to fix it. This kind of stuff is common amongst non-English servers, because there isn't as much of an anti-pay-to-win movement on YouTube outside of the English-speaking side. These servers are far less vigilant than the English-speaking ones, and are much more lax with their plugin updates, as they don't face dupes nearly as often. Be sure to subscribe and help me reach 100k subs. We're getting very close now. No pressure, of course. Way back in 2022, myself, Duper and Dupe Hunter Lil Peep would exploit a trade plugin duplication exploit on a server known as ZedarMC. At the time, ZedarMC was regularly seeing play counts ranging from 200 to 400, a pretty big SMP network. I uploaded a video about it here, which some of you may remember, where after the dupe took place, we got into call with one of the server's owners and were able to negotiate to get a specific crate on their server known as the Mystery Crate removed. Now, the Mystery Crate was even worse than normal crates for 2 reasons. The Minecraft guidelines surrounding what you can and can't do with crates require you to list all potential items you can win from a crate, as well as the odds of winning them, which is how crates on all servers work today. However, this mystery crate on ZedarMC at the time did neither. Not only did you have no idea what kind of items you could get, but you also had no idea of the odds of getting them. You were basically spending your money to buy a key with absolutely zero idea of what you could get, gambling mechanics which are even more harmful than normal. So the mystery crate was removed, but now, almost 3 years later, did it stay removed? Well, hopping onto the server now, and while the server still does have a variety of crate and crate keys, unfortunately, there is no mystery crate in sight. So it seems in that regard, they kept their word, although considering the way the crate was set up was against Mojang's rules, there's a good chance it would have had to be removed sometime down the line anyways. Back in mid-2023, me, Duper, Caleb is Salty, and It's Owo would dupe on a 1.8 faction server known as Fantasy Cloud, using an exploit that allowed us to duplicate keys through the auction house. After duping and distributing on the server the first time, the staff would shut down the server and ban most of us. Somehow though, I was able to remain unbanned with a bunch of my keys still in my inventory, and as such I was able to dupe some more, but also noticed that the ability to use crates was disabled. So technically, due to our duping, they unwillingly had disabled or potentially removed crates. And did they ever add crates back? Well, it's hard to say since the server has seemingly shut down as of last year, but from archives of their store indicate it seems like they were selling loot boxes again. And that makes sense. They didn't willingly remove the crates, they just disabled them to deal with the dupe, and then likely re-enabled them not long after. It seems unless you actually negotiate with the server staff, they won't make any long-term changes. English-speaking Minecraft servers, especially the bigger ones, are notoriously more difficult to dupe on, and as such are also far less likely to make any changes. But that can't be said for all of them. Netherite.gg is a pretty big server, seeing around 150 to 300 players daily, and features a variety of game modes including Faction, Skyblock, Survival, Prison, and Lifesteal. Now, the server is your typical pay-to-win network. There's nothing special here which you haven't already seen before. Their survival game mode alone has about a dozen crates, with their other game modes having a variety of separate crates and keys only usable in those modes too. Duper would manage to use a dupe on their Factions mode last year, where stacked mobs, specifically zombies, could pick up items and duplicate them when killed by lava, which he used to dupe shulker boxes of valuable items. Then, later on, he utilized another dupe, this time on survival, whereby he was able to use the trade menu and then delay the packets his client sent to the server to create an infinite item, similar to using the middle mouse button in creative to massively duplicate items, of which were distributed through a live stream that I was also briefly a part of.
Anyways, I'm 35.
Yeah, I know, he's 40 actually.
After this incident, a variety of their crates were modified to remove the gambling elements from them. For example, this seasonal Christmas crate from last year now has items which cost specific numbers of keys to directly purchase, and some of their other crates are now loot boxes instead, which upon being purchased allow players to pick a certain number of items from them to keep. However, some of their other modes, such as Factions, still seem to have crate keys which have gambling. For example, this $18 Blizzard crate. So it seems with the bigger English-speaking servers such as Netherite, they are far more unlikely to make any changes, and if they do, it will seemingly be more minor, but that's still much better than nothing at least. Now, there is 3 final servers I want to briefly touch on. NauticMC is a server me and Jupiter duped on back in 2022. The server is massively popular today, easily one of the biggest there is, and a year after we duped on their server, the owner, Dr. Donut, did decide to remove the gambling element from crates and make it so you just pick an item to get instead. However, it's unlikely that this was due to our duping, as it happened an entire year after, but it's still interesting enough to mention. The second server is ZedarMC, another sizable server seeing 200 to 400 plays daily, of which Jupiter also duped on a few months ago in a yet to be released video. After doing so, he got in contact with the owner, who mentioned they would remove gambling from their crates and instead have a system where you choose an item from the crate like a NauticMC. If you hop onto the server though, the crates still feature gambling, although one of the owners has mentioned that the system is still being implemented and will be done soon, so it's too early to determine if they changed or not just yet. And the final server I want to talk about is probably the most successful story in this whole video, and it's one you probably already know, Sunday server Buckley, who recently removed all gambling entirely with the launch of their new Skyblock game mode. Full video about that here. And that's about it. All of the other servers that YouTubers have ever duped on have never made any changes. I'd argue the percentage who do make changes is unfortunately probably around 5%, if not lower. Which brings me to my next point. After the Sunday video, some of you guys gave me some feedback and left comments mentioning that you instead wanted me to ask these servers to remove gambling before I went and duped on them and pressured them to make changes through negative attention. And while I personally, based on my own experience, believe this won't do anything, as the server owners have no reason to change unless they receive negative attention, I still want to give it a go. So stay tuned, I have a video planned where I will be doing exactly that. Be sure to check out Jupiter's YouTube channel, he'll be uploading videos featuring some of these servers we talked about soon. Be sure to subscribe, thank you all so much for watching.